on, everybody? Michael here. Welcome back to another episode of Technoid. Today, guys, we have got a huge one. I am, of course, reviewing once again Soundpeat. They are kind enough to continue their support on the Technoid show, but today we are taking a look at the brand new H3. I am going to give you guys my full honest opinion and review on the product. I am going to go into detail about all of this. I want to just make this very clear, though. I want to make this very clear. Even though Soundpeat has worked with my channel in the past and they are seeing this video the same time that you guys are, they do not have a say, nor were they a part of this episode, because this time around I decided to pick these up myself as a sign of good faith, and also because I like to give my reviews as unbiased as possible, and the release of these headphones got me excited. So I just want to put that disclaimer out there that everything you're going to hear is 100% done by me, the person who paid the money, but I do want to thank Soundpeat for being a part of this episode in their continued support and also in our long-term build out of the channel. Now we get that out of the way, let's talk about these headphones, because oh my goodness, have I been excited. When I found out that they were making a triple driver headphone, I said hell yeah. Then I found out it was going to have active noise canceling, even better, a better transparency mode I heard. And then of course you got LDAC, aptX lossless, aptX whatever. And I said this has got to be it. And the battery life reports. Now that we're here, now that we're doing it, what are my thoughts? Well, let's start with the basics. The unboxing is very simple. It's a very premium unboxing this time around, so the unboxing is actually a lot more better this time around than the previous ones. It comes in a nice finish. The actual headphone design themselves has both a matte and transparent finish. Now, of course, you know what I'm about to say here. I love you, Soundpeat, but still no wireless charging, but I guess eventually they'll do it one day. But anyway, taking a look at the earbuds themselves, they look studio-like. They have a different design, but have the essence of a studio-like design. When you put them in your ear, they have a nice little hook that goes to the top of your ear, which helps to give you better noise isolation and also helps with the active noise canceling. Now, in regards to the actual feel of the headphones, they feel pretty fine. I don't see anything wrong with it. I think that they do fit nicely, and I like this design a lot better than a lot of the stem designs that they've had in the past. So this is definitely one of my more favorite designs. Now, when it comes to the active noise canceling and transparency, that is where we see the biggest improvement across the board, but there are a few things. For starters, the active noise canceling, absolutely tremendous. This thing is the best noise canceling I have ever seen on a Soundpeat headphones. I thought the Air 5 Pro was good. This takes the Air 5 Pro and everything that worked, times that by 10. The adaptive noise canceling is incredible. Everything that I said in that previous episode got addressed. However, with that being said, it all depends on how well it fits. Now, of course, if you find the right ear tip and you put them in, it will be a very good fit. But if you're not able to get that fit, that's where you may see leakage and it won't be as good noise isolation. So you're gonna have to make sure that these can fit your ear. And from my testing with different pairs of ears, that is definitely something to behold. Now, when it comes to the transparency mode, that's where it gets a little different. Now, this could be a firmware update. This could definitely be something they improve with the firmware, but I actually like the transparency more on the Air 5 Pros and even previous earbuds than this one. Yes, it does let in a general amount of sound, and it does sound very nice. It doesn't sound muffled, but it feels very staticky, robotic style. Like you can hear like the sound whenever you speak to someone. And also, it doesn't really let in as much as I was hoping, specifically because it has a bigger design. I thought that the microphone quality would let in more. But with that being said though, when you put on vocal emphasis, it does do a very good job of isolating the vocals. So if you're talking to someone, you could hear them and it lowers the music a little bit. But I kind of wish that that was a feature, but again, you know, that's just the nature of these things. But all in all, when it comes to the specs, it has Bluetooth 5.4, it's got LDAC, aptX lossless, so it's got a nice variety of code. And if you're an iOS user, the coolest thing it has is multi-connect, which does a very good job, is what you're gonna see. So all in all, when it comes to the features, these things absolutely deliver. I got nothing but to say, great job. Now let's get quickly to the tech spec of the headphones before we get to the sound quality, which is obviously my favorite. The tech specs is the battery life. You get 7 hours of playtime when using these earbuds. And if you have the charging case paired up, you get a total of 37 hours with the charging case. It does come with fast charging. A 10-minute charge will give you 2 hours of playback time. On top of that, it has a USB-C charger, so of course you can fast charge with USB-C. The headphone drivers themselves, which leads next to the sound quality, is my favorite. They are using a 12mm dynamic driver to produce your low end, and then you have 2 balanced armatures, again, audiophiles don't kill me for this, that produces your mids and high end. This is the separation of drivers that I love. I love when companies use more than one driver, and this is the perfect setup that you could have asked for. Now, of course, it is on the bigger side, so they do have to accommodate for all of this technology, but the design of it is styled to be an acoustic architect where it combines all 3 drivers to produce one seamless sound with detailed and separation included. And lastly, paired with LDAC or aptX, you're going to get some amazing sound. And that leads me right into the sound quality. Now for me, I love the sound quality out of the box. This is a beautiful, rich sounding headphone that has everything that I am looking for. I really cannot have any negativity to say about this sound signature. They sound incredible. The low end is nice and deep. It's not overpowering, although I would have liked for a little bit more sub-bass effect. It is just the right amount of bass. The mids, the trebles, the highs, the clarity, everything just comes in so nicely thanks to those 2 balanced armatures. And when you pair that all together, it produces probably the greatest sounding headphones that Soundpeat has ever made. Now, I know I'm going ecstatic about this, but I'm not making this up. You have to hear these for yourself to be the judge, but I am telling you, I have seen companies try to do this. I know Status Audio was the leader in the triple driver setup department. This thing outperforms the Between 3 A and C and outperforms the triple earbud driver that I have from the USB-C model that was reviewed a long time back. This is the best sounding I've ever heard from Soundpeat, and you pair that with LDAC or aptX, that is incredible. Now, again, for clarity, I would like a little bit more sub-bass effect, but out of the box, it's just, chef kiss, so perfect. Now, when we talk about the app support, that is where these headphones take off. You can customize your EQ. It has an adaptive EQ, which does a sound hear test to hear what it is you're looking for. It also has the update firmwares. Now, these just did come out to the public, so you will expect a firmware update to be coming out within less than a month if there's any addresses or anything like that. On top of that, it also has Find My Earbuds. You also have dual connection, the touch control system with single tap, double tap, triple tap, and press and hold, which is customizable. And then lastly, to round it all off, the app support does give you a nice array of EQs, and one of my favorites is the hi-fi, which gives you the most detailed sound. But to be honest with you, because I want that sub-bass effect, the sound out of the box is more than likely better for me anyway. So all in all, what do I think of the H3? Well, if you can't tell by my enthusiasm, if you can't tell by my sheer joy, I love these headphones, and these are officially my favorite headphones from Soundpeat. This reminds me of the time when Soundcore released the Liberty 3 Pro. That was the peak of Soundcore, and now I think Soundpeat has reached the peak of where they are going. This is by far the best headphone they have ever made. This is by far probably the only headphone that I am going to recommend to people, and the price of $130? This is an absolute no-brainer. I know a lot of people say that that's a lot of money, there are other headphones in the range, you could do more, but please tell me, where are you gonna find this kind of value in an earbud and in a whole package? You get great battery life, even with LDAC turned on. You get phenomenal sound quality wirelessly. You get great app support. You get everything. The only negatives that I found was really just the transparency that could be improved, and also maybe a little bit more sub-bass effect. But for $130. And if you did sign up for the early bird special, you get an additional $30, $40 off the headphones for 90 bucks. These are a no-brainer. So right now, if I had to give a verdict for 2025, the best headphone on the market that money's gonna buy you, it's this. It is really this. There is not much else I can say. I know I'm very excited. I know I sound enthusiastic, but those are genuinely my honest opinion. I absolutely recommend the H3, and I want to thank Soundpeat for their continued support, and I hope that they achieve the level of success that they're looking for, and I think they found it with this. So definitely continue to build on that success, and to everyone watching this video, definitely consider picking these up, because honestly, they knocked it out of the park. And this might just be the flagship headphone that Soundpeat needed, and I think it's going to be the one that puts them on the map.